Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles, to the elders, the great millstone. Peace, love, honors, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Back again with another lesson. And so I was watching this guy, Jan Janta Jantica reporter. He gives really good news. He's on point when it comes to, reporting, current events in the world. And I'm just gonna play a clip from his video, and I'm gonna get some scriptures on it.
End quote. I've said it before, and I will say it again. Iran is making a grave mistake by not developing nuclear weapons. Don't listen to me. Pay attention to what this American political scientist,
Yeah, well, he says, and he's right. Iran is making a grave mistake, which, they could just be saying that they're not trying to enrich uranium or make anything. They could just be saying that. I mean, they have all right to, because Israel does it. But yes, it's true that they do, need that equalizer. But let me play on.
John Mearsheimer once said,
I think there's no question that a nuclear armed Iran would bring stability to the region because nuclear weapons are weapons of peace. They're weapons of deterrence. They have hardly any offensive capability at all. And if Iran had a nuclear deterrent, there's no way that the United States or Israel, for that matter, would be threatening to attack Iran now. In the same way that if Saddam had had nuclear weapons in 2003, the United States would not have invaded Iraq. And if Libya had nuclear weapons in 2011, the United States would not have gone to war against Libya.
meanwhile, hundreds
Yeah. Yep. 100%, man. Showing you that nuclear missile is that equalizer, and that's why the scriptures say this. This is Joel chapter 3 verse 10. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Now, why is these weaker nations saying that they're strong? Because now they have that nuclear capability. They have those missiles. Okay? So the weak nations, the nations that were once known as weak, are saying that we're strong now. Because if we have nuclear capability, you're going to think twice. Just like as the guy was saying, you're going to think twice about going into that country. You see now, Netanyahu, is forcing Trump's hand to go into Iran, because for one, he's fulfilling prophecy most importantly, because the prophecy states that America will be at war with Iran, and Russia and the other nations in World War III. Okay. And for two, Esau is just a fucking madman. This guy, he's triggering a war between three superpowers, four if you count in North Korea. All right. This guy is trying to trigger a war. But this is all fulfilling prophecy. See, that's why the scriptures say man's goings are of the Lord. So now all these weak nations are saying we're strong. All right. So now America can't be the hammer of the earth as the scriptures call them. This is Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? Right. How has Babylon become a desolation among the nation? All right. Which I should have read this one first. But check this out. This is Obadiah chapter 1. This is in the GNT version. This is the second verse. It says, the Lord say to Edom, I will make you weak. Everyone will despise you. And everyone is despising, these so-called white people. Everyone is despising you. And, that the Scumlickites Them small hatters, they're the ones that's spearheading all the wickedness that's going on in the world. All right. So it says, your pride have deceived you. Your capital is a fortress of solid rock. Your home is high. There was because it was up in the mountains, man. Your home is high in the mountains. And you say to yourself, who can ever pull me down? Well, Yahweh Shem Yahshai is going to pull you down. And that's why when you go into the book of Daniel, when that statue was destroyed, the stone that destroyed that statue was Yahweh Shai. Okay? So showing you this is all playing out in biblical prophecy, man. You know? So let me play on a little bit.
Hundreds of thousands of Iranians took to streets. Meanwhile, hundreds of thousands of Iranians took to the streets today to mark the 47th anniversary.
Well, that's it. That's it on that. I don't really need to play that anymore. But we see that all these weaker nations, once weaker nations, they now have that equalizer. All right. So let me go here real quick. Actually, I could go in Joel. Let me go back in Joel. There's a little more I could read on that. It says, verse 11, Joel 3, verse 11. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. It says, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. It says, for there I will sit to judge all the heathen round about. So as you see all these war games that are escalating over there in the so-called Middle East, you know, this is Bible prophecy playing out once again. And you know, how close are we to seeing the MOTB, which is the micro C-HIP? How close are we to seeing that being fully implemented? Just as they indirectly force you to take the jizab. How long till we see that? You know, the prophecies are popping off the pages, man. And the time is speeding up. Didn't the Lord say that, you know, for his servant's sake, these days shall be shortened? That's why you wake up Monday, you know, it's damn near Wednesday. You know, time has just been moving by, man. The days have been sped up. You know? So we got to continue to watch and see what's going on. And just like, you know, that video, we got to be the spiritual reporters. Let me see. It says, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down, for the press is full, and the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. So this is a put ye in the sickle. The harvest is ripe, meaning it's time for it's that time for war. All right, you reap what you sow. You sowed wickedness, now you're gonna reap war and destruction. And it says, for their wickedness is great, man. Multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of the Lord Yahweh is near in the valley of decision. Right, the day of the Lord is near. Okay? That's why all of these things are happening. All right? Uproars of the people. That's why those things are happening. I believe I had another. It's a lot. Let me see something right quick. Yeah, let me go here real quick since I said that. Second Esdras 9 and 1, it said, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, when thou seest parts of the signs pass, which we're seeing. We're seeing, you know, the pieces of World War III coming together. All right. This nation is saying this. That nation is disagreeing. This nation is saying that. That nation is disagreeing. And they all disagree with Babylon. You see that now that America done left the World Health Organization, 6 countries have suddenly come out with a cure for cancer. So what was all that about? All right? And when thou then shalt thou understand that is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And this is what we're waiting for. This is why we go out there in the highways and byways. This is why we prophesy. This is why we study. This is why we have faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. Because his words are true. Because we're seeing it happen right before our eyes. So I'm going to end it off there. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, Bashim Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, to the elders, the great millstone, and shalom to the hopeful elect.